Kingdom, seek first what you have to do, and everything else he will add to you. In the valley of death, he will walk you through. One step towards God, Jesus is taking two. Kingdom, seek first what you have to do, and everything else he will add to you. In the valley of death, he will walk you through. One step towards God, Jesus is taking two. Devil knows you're backsliding, evil grin, he's excited, so we have to remind him that the battle's already decided. Devil knows you're backsliding, evil grin, he's excited, so we have to remind him that the battle's already decided. No condemnation for them in Christ, forgiven, healed by the blood and stripes. He so loved the world that he gave his life. Believe in him and you'll be alright. No condemnation for them in Christ, forgiven, healed by the blood and stripes. He so loved the world that he gave his life. Believe in him and you'll be alright. Look, Lucifer's a crook, he still kills, destroys, that's what it say in the book. Temptation of the flesh, your vice, bait and a hook. Catch your mind slacking, took like snagging a snook. Try to send demons at you, hearing voices you shook. Evil thoughts intrusive, omens wherever you look. Now you cutting on yourself, blood flowing a brook. But you gotta play chess, play a move like a rook. With the king by your side, only fear the most high. See, yeah, that's cap, but let the weak play mighty. Besides G Christ, he rised up inside me. Rebirth of a man, mind, body, soul, psyche. Message for those who are jealous and don't like me. Who wanna cause pain, I suggest you tread lightly. I turn the other cheek, but my angels, they get feisty. Night, pray for peace and insights. Kingdom, seek first what you have to do, and everything else he will add to you. In the valley of death, he will walk you through. One step towards God, Jesus is taking two. Kingdom, seek first what you have to do, and everything else he will add to you. In the valley of death, he will walk you through. One step towards God, Jesus is taking. Devil knows you're backsliding, evil grin, he's excited, so we have to remind him that the battle's already decided. Devil knows you're backsliding, evil grin, he's excited, so we have to remind him that the battle's already decided. No condemnation for them in Christ, forgiven, healed by the blood and stripes. He so loved the world that he gave his life. Believe in him and you'll be alright. No condemnation for them in Christ, forgiven, healed by the blood and stripes. He so loved the world that he gave his life. Believe in him and you'll be alright. Look, Lucifer's a crook, he still kills, destroys, that's what it say in the book. Temptation of the flesh, your vice, bait and a hook. Catch your mind slacking, took like snagging a snook. Try to send demons at you, hearing voices you shook. Evil thoughts intrusive, omens wherever you look. Now you cutting on yourself, blood flowing a brook. But you gotta play chess, play a move like a rook. With the king by your side, only fear the most high. See, yeah, that's cap, but let the weak play mighty. Besides G Christ, he rised up inside me. Rebirth of a man, mind, body, soul, psyche. Message for those who are jealous and don't like me. Who wanna cause pain, I suggest you tread lightly. I turn the other cheek, but my angels, they get feisty. Night, pray for peace and insights. Kingdom, seek first what you have to do, and everything else he will add to you. In the valley of death, he will walk you through. One step towards God, Jesus is taking two.
All right. Welcome and good evening. It is Wednesday Night Live with Sebastian Boyer, the approved guy. Thank you all for joining. If you're going to be visiting or watching this later, you're in for a treat. Tonight, we have a special guest. Usually, as you guys know, on my channel, I talk about personal credit, business financing, velocity banking, infinite banking, estate planning, and asset protection. But I also talk about purpose and living on purpose. And tonight's episode is specifically about living on purpose. Our guest tonight is Mr. SEAN ROWE, who is actually a friend of mine from high school. And we're going to kind of go on a journey with Sean about his history, what the things he's gone through, the businesses he's been successful with, and the changes he's made in his life. Sean successfully completed a 30-mile run in 5.5 hours about almost 2 weeks ago. This is coming from living a lifestyle for over almost 30 years, smoking 3 packs of cigarettes a day, drinking a bottle of Jameson a day, or if not more, living the nightlife culture, being a business, a nightclub owner, several nightclubs, and he completely transformed his life. He hit a point of 300 pounds. He's now down to 200 pounds and just finished 30 miles. In September, he's challenging himself to complete a 100-mile run, and he's doing all of this on purpose for a cause. So it's not even just for himself. It's to raise money for the Wounded Warrior Project, which helps soldiers that are coming back that are wounded to get back on their feet. And on top of that, he's motivating people. He's motivating me to get healthy, to get back in the gym and to take care of my health, to start working out and getting healthy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on Sean. My brother Sean.
What's up?
What's up,
How you
brother? Thank you
doing?
for joining us, man. Thank you so joining us. So before we get into it, I always start off with a Bible verse, and I forgot to say it. So let me just hit us up with that Bible verse.
Really?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So the verse is going to be Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. And what that Bible verse says is that we are God's handiwork. We are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. So we were created on purpose with an intention by God to do good works that He has prepared for us to do. So when we're young and we're going through life, or we're just not even paying attention to God, He already has a plan for me, for you, for all of us to do good things. And we just need to walk in that spirit. Once we connect with God, He just opens the door. So with that said, Sean, how you doing today?
I'm good.
Awesome,
Doing
brother.
good.
Awesome, man. So I know your story, and with your permission, I want to go back. I want to go way back. Okay. So
Oh boy, I was a bad man way back. You sure?
yeah, I want to, because I want people to know what I know.
Yeah.
Right? I want people to know what I know, and how much, where you are now, how dramatic of a change it is for me knowing you, right? And seeing you where you are now and what you're doing, it's a shock. It's literally a shock, right? And you're motivating me. Yeah, exactly. So when we were younger, we were coming out of high school. I remember a version of Sean that was a very angry person. Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't mess around with Sean, because he would knock you out. And
yeah, very aggressive.
yes, very aggressive. So we split ways. You moved over to Texas, right?
Yeah.
And you started several businesses.
Yep.
And so I want to know, like, from that time when you were younger and you had all this aggression and anger, and then you moved into this business world, how did that transition from you being a younger man into the business world, and how did that manifest? How did that
Well,
unfold?
I always say the anger and aggression is definitely something that it's personal trauma, and I think it's something that as a kid, just the way I was raised, been through a lot of trauma and pent up aggression. You take it out on the world, because you don't know how to deal with that, and the emotional maturity at that time was very limited for me because I didn't know how to deal with that. So being that I didn't know how to deal with that emotional maturity, I would just lash out. I got triggered real easily with anything. You know what I'm saying? And it's the wrong way to deal with things. What I know now, I wish I knew then, but it's just part of the process. But
Now,
to answer
in those younger years, you also started drinking, so you were drinking
I've
at
been
that time.
long time. I've been a party animal since we was in high school, brother.
Yeah.
So and it never stopped. It kept on escalating. All I did was just now figure out a way how to make money while I'm partying. You know what I'm
So tell
saying?
us about that. So you got into the
I
promotions
got in the
and
I got in the nightclub business. First, I started doing like promoting events and stuff like that, and then after promoting events, I started learning the back end of the bar and club business, and then I got in the nightclub business, and that changed the whole game, because now I'm like, damn, I could drink, I could smoke, and I could still and make money doing it, and entertain, and living that life, and I'm seeing the numbers, and it's just the vice. All I was doing was amplifying the vice. You know what I'm saying? I
Got it.
wasn't
Got it.
solving the problem.
Right.
And it's just one of those things where I had to go through this journey, man. I had to go through these dynamics of being a club owner and because I never fixed the problem. All I did was enhance it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Now, along the way in your journey, before you came to your experience you had, which we'll get to about a year and a half ago, I know that there was a some point along the way where you had some, um, I guess, connect some meeting with God, or some type of reality where you realized, okay, something is,
Life check.
yeah.
God gave me a life check, man. That's what I call it. He gave me a life check. He basically was like, all right, because and let me say this first. All praises to God, man, Lord Jesus Christ. I'm so grateful, because he's definitely brought me through some dangerous situations where I've made it through some real hard knock life stuff, man. And I'm happy to be here to talk with you, and thank you for inviting me on your show to talk about this. Hopefully we reach a lot of people in similar situations and inspire them to start, transitioning for the better. But it's one of them things, Sebastian, where I got involved in this club business. I got involved doing this stuff for the whole purpose of making money. And once I got into it, it magnified. It kept on getting bigger and bigger. It was like a snowball effect. So then when I'm making money and I'm drinking, the vice is getting stronger. The womanizing, the addiction to all the things that I like. And I tell anybody, I'm so straight up about it. I like smoking cigarettes. I like drinking whiskey. You know, it was a feeling I liked, but as it got more consuming, I started to lose a grip of enjoying it. I was cloudy brained. I was not making right decisions. I was getting temperamental. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of different demons started coming in because I never fixed it, but the money kept on coming. So it's like you're doing something every day for so long. You're like, I get back to it. I get to it. I get to it. But once I got to the a point where, bro, I always been a gym person, or remember we used to do push-ups and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you stop caring about your health. You stop caring about your well-being. And I'm talking about I'm partying all night. Then I gotta go eat. And what's open at 3 o'clock in the morning? The Waffle House. You know what I mean? So you're eating bad, and the life. I'm getting to the point. The life check that happened to me, man, is like, you know, I have a son, a wonderful son, a great son, and I always provided for him as a father. But I got to a point where I want to be a better role model. I didn't feel like being a nightclub owner and indulging in all these vices was a good example for him. Even though I provided and got him everything he needed and supported him, and did everything I was supposed to do as a dad and more, I still felt uncomfortable as a role model for him, as somebody where he could be like, this is my dad. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's crazy because I had the money to live the life and enjoy and did things, but I still felt empty, that I didn't want my son looking at me like, yo, my dad owned nightclub. I keep it so real. I used to tell my son when he go to school, don't tell him your dad owned nightclubs. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a businessman. Don't be specific. When they ask for like parent teacher day. And I hate to say that, but that's how I started feeling at a certain point. Like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, I got to start figuring this out. And I still didn't do anything about it. Kept on going back to the club business, doing what I'm doing. And okay, God was like, all right, he's getting close to realizing it, but he's still not letting it go. You know what I'm saying? So I kept on doing it, doing my thing. And like I said, it's so funny because like when the devil sees that you want to let go something to go over to God's side, he just enhances more of the vices and the things you like to make it harder for you to walk away from it. It got hard, dude. Like I'm just keeping it real. I seen it. And it's so crazy now because once I stopped drinking and smoking and doing all these things, I'm clear. My third eye is wide open. So I'm like, damn, I couldn't leave that because I loved being the attention of this business and the you know what I'm saying? All the vices. But bro, God said, okay, I know you want to leave, but you ain't leaving yet. All right.
Mm.
Boom. One day I was with one of my guys. I said this on another interview, but for you, I'm gonna even get more detail. We was doing an all-nighter, man. We was binging. And I didn't, for the record, I always say this, to each his own. I hope everybody gets help for whatever their vices are. My vice was I was a chain smoker and I drank like a fish. I smoked like a chimney and I drunk like a fish, man.
Man,
You understand? Excessively. 3 packs a day, maybe 2 liters of alcohol a day.
wow.
And we was driving one day and we was going for an all-night binge, and I kept on saying, man, my shoulder and my left side, it just kept on like stinging me. You know what I'm saying?
Hold
But
on
I'm
for a
still
sec,
doing what I'm.
because I know
Yeah.
where you're going. But before we do that, before you say
Okay.
that,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
so
Okay.
at this
Okay.
point, how much did you weigh?
Oh, I'm easily about 280,
280.
290.
And what were
I'm
you at
about
your?
280.
So that was your max, 280, 290.
Nah, my max. I got up to about 305, man.
Okay, okay. Now,
I was about 290. Still working my way up.
so what I've heard from you so far is that you've been on this journey, this lifestyle. It's not healthy. Consciously that you want to change. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so because I know that you are going to tell us, what happens next. But it sounds to me like there was a progress of you actually coming to this reality and to this ultimate.
Yeah. I,
So it wasn't like just everything happened only all at once. It was a progressive
nah, it,
change that
it
happened
wasn't
over time.
the randomness that happened, the extreme randomness was I did it. Was doing it. When I got the real scare, what we'll discuss in a little bit, there was no turning back. But before that, it's one of them things like this, right? You know what you're doing is wrong, but you're still doing it. And I was at that point where I know this ain't the life I should be living anymore, but I'm still doing it. And it was so hard for me to leave that lifestyle alone because I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But, you know, consciously, I knew I gotta stop this. You know what I'm saying? I gotta stop. I gotta change. I wasn't happy with the role model I was becoming for my son. I wasn't happy with how I felt. I was obese for my size. I wasn't happy with, it just got to a point where it's just so toxic, man. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I knew it was toxic, but it's like I had to figure out how can I get, and then you get these red flags, dude. You get these red flags that's giving you all the signs like leave it alone. And when you get that red flag or that gut feeling, sometimes you got to listen to it. But I'm a stubborn,
So
stubborn, stubborn person, man.
would you say during that time, are you like having a conversation with God and just kind of like compromising, or are you just ignoring the flags completely?
Okay, I could say this. I spoke to God every day. Even though I was sinning and doing those things that I was doing in the nightlife business, I still had a relationship with God. I know it sounds weird, but what I'm
No, not at
saying
all.
is I still was a God-fearing man. I still have a relationship with God, but I was still doing the wrong thing because I didn't know how to get away from it. if it sounds crazy. And I'm a grown man. I'm a strong personality, so I could pretty much be like, man, I ain't dealing with that. I could cut things off, do what I. That's just my personality. But it's like when you want to continue doing something, but like I said, but it's wrong for you, but you don't know the first step to leave it alone. And the red flags I say is just things started happening to where it's like God saying, get away from this industry because that, and the third is the outcome. It's not good. Like this, what you're surrounded by is not good. And I'm seeing all the symbols and the signs, but I still wouldn't let it go until we'll discuss that other the situation
So
earlier
let's
later.
go. Let's land there now because the Bible says that the wages of sin are death. Right? That's the wages of sin is death. So what happened?
So when we're driving around, and I told you it was one of my guys, and I was with my peoples, man, and I was feeling uncomfortable all day. And what's so funny about that day? Let me tell you what's so funny. Like that whole day felt like just a blur. Cause we go in these all night binges. I have the club running all night. Then after that, we might hit an after hour and keep partying and just keep going and keep going. But it just felt like a blur. We eat breakfast, 6 in the morning, leaving the clubs and partying and all that. Then we eat breakfast. And I always make sure everything at the house is good and handled sometime, but I'm still outside, right? And I just remember saying to my people, like, yo, man, my shoulder just keeps hurting me, dog. Like it's not feeling right. You know what I'm saying? Like and then one of my guys was like, yo, man, the stroke and everything, OG, that them saying your shoulder and tingly feeling, all them things you saying, that's warning signs before. And get this now, I'm a chain smoker. I got high blood pressure. I'm drinking like a fish. I'm eating garbage. You know what I'm saying? I said, man, yo, take me to the ER, man. I ain't trying to find out. I don't want something to happen. You know what I mean? Like, take
Yeah.
me there, and man, bro. Let me tell you, it's funny because when I get into detail now, when I got to the ER, the first lady that helped me happened to be a Caribbean lady, and she took my blood pressure, and she was like, it was through the roof. She's like, how are you even standing right now? And I'm clueless. I'm thinking everything's normal. I've been doing this for a minute, And they checked me in the hospital. My peoples, it was like, yo, we'll wait out here, whatever. I was like, yeah, it should be quick. They checked me in the hospital, man, and they were like, yo, we're gonna have to do some tests on you, make sure everything's good because you about to have a stroke or a heart attack. Like this is so they had to give me the medicines and stuff I needed to lower my blood pressure and stuff like that. And yo, I remember, and like I said, everybody has had their life experience of just a reality check, a life check to like you got to make a change, in all different ways and forms. This was mine, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? This is
Yeah.
my story. And when I was in that hospital bed, man, I remember I was like, yo, this is more serious than I think. I'm thinking they'll just come in here and just give me a shot or something and just be on your way. The doctor came and the nurse came, and the nurse was like, I'll never forget, a little Latin lady, and she was like, how you doing today, son? I was like, yeah, when can I leave? Like, I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm because in my head, guess what I'm thinking? I gotta go back to the club and open up the club. I got all the stuff to do. I'm thinking the lifestyle, the money, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, yo, you gotta, son, you're too young to be this big. She had a strong Latin accent, and she was like, and you need to change your lifestyle. What do you do for a living? I was like, I'm a nightclub owner. She's like, oh, she said, discoteca, chicas and champagne. You know what I mean? But nah, it was really more, she was serious though. She was like, you have to change. She's like, I was like, yeah, man. She's like, do you do drugs? I was like, no, I don't do no drugs. I don't do no hard drugs or nothing like that. I smoke a lot of cigarettes and I drink a lot of alcohol. She's like, oh, yeah. And she was just like saying, like, basically, you need to stop. And she left. She like
Okay.
hydrated me, did her man left. So Sebastian, when I sat in that room, dog, I was like, yo, and I remember it was Octoberish. It was like that time of the year. I was like, yo, I gotta change, man. I gotta fix this. Is like, it's just something came over me, bro, and I was just like, I gotta change. I have to change something. I don't know how, but I have to change something. And when the doc came, they gave me some, blood pressure medicine and all that kind of stuff, and told me what I needed to do. And when we left, a couple hours later, even though I'm in the car with the guys and stuff, I'm still in my head like, yeah, I gotta do some things different. But stubborn Sean still goes back to the lifestyle, still partying, still doing it. And it was at like the end of October. And so I woke up I did another binge, man. And I went home, and it's so crazy because I will go all night, but I always make sure I get home in time to take my son to school, breakfast or whatever. I always had like a certain specific routine. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But when I got home, he was already went off to school, and I slept and I slept and I slept all day. Like I missed the whole day. Like I didn't set up shop at the club. My phone had mad missed calls, all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? And when I woke up, I said, you know what? I'm done, man. I had and I was smoking Newports, longs. I smoked the Newport longs. If you smoke Newport, it's not even like the short pack. It's the long. It's the hanging off your lip long. You know what I'm saying? And I had like 3 packs of those on my dresser. And I'm looking at cigarette and stuff. I'm gonna be real with you, fam. When I woke up, it was habitual. Go outside, spark up a bogey, you know what I'm saying? Smoke that Newport and drink the coffee and start my thing. I threw them out. And I said, you know what? I'm done. And that was a hard vice for me. Like the alcohol, it's so crazy because for me, the alcohol was easy to let go. Like I love drinking, but it was easy for me to let go. Like I don't need it because because the hangovers. I never liked the hangovers in alcohol. Even when you drink the premium, you still get a hangover because you're consuming so much. You're putting so much poison in you. But the cigarettes was rough.
Yeah.
And when I let that go, when I was done, I remember it's the 1st of November, dog. I said the 1st of November, 2023. I said I'm gonna go back to the gym. I said I got this lifetime membership and stuff, like for a lifetime, like it's forever, right? This membership. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go back to the gym, and I went to the gym. Everything was slow boogie. And now, I'm a pumpkin. You know what I'm saying? I'm plump. You know what I mean? But I knew I had to put myself in an arena that I feel would help me in a positive way. And the gym was it for me. And one day turned to 2, 2 day turned to 3, 3 day turned to 4. And before you know it, in a month, I'm feeling good about myself. But every day I was fighting the demons. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. Even though I was doing that positive thing in the gym, I'm still fighting the demons. It got to a point, by this time, the club is crashed and burned. Like, I lost that. The club that was a whole nother story. But that it was already on its way out. I was trying to salvage it. I did the doc and everything to try to save it, but it was already out. But I was still going through my own dilemmas, plus the business. It was everything was just turning into just a disaster. And it's so funny how it all happens at the same time. You know what I'm saying? How everything just starts circulating at the same time. God has a way of letting you know. All right, I done given you all the chances the easy way. So you're gonna be the guy that gotta learn the hard way. All right. Well, you made a first step by going in the gym. So I give you kudos for that. But let's see how strong you really are. Because I know you got the vices. I know you still want to smoke. I know you want to drink. I know you want to womanize. I know you want to be that guy, Roe Dollar. Not Sean Rowe, Roe Dollar. I know you want to be that guy, Mr. Personality, life of the party. You know what I'm saying? And it was so crazy because those demons, yo, man, I'm seeing them real life, dog. Like, yo, I'm gonna tell you a trippy thing I remember. So I was going to the gym. I'm still going to the gym. I'm getting back in, slowly getting back in motion, right? Yo, I couldn't make this up. I remember leaving the gym, fam, and finding a pack of full cigarettes out of nowhere. Excuse me for shaking up so much. Out of nowhere on the. So I'm like, yo, so I said to myself, I gotta look and see. You know, it was a closed pack. So I said to myself, I gotta look and see if there's cigarettes in there. I don't know why. I wasn't craving for it. I just wanted to see if any cigarettes were in there, right? I go down there, bro. A full crispy pie. I said, boy, the devil is real. Hey, the devil is real, dog. You know what I'm saying? And when I knew I kicked it away, so I knew I'm really trying, man. I'm trying to fight this. And, you know, we going to get deep. You know, I don't know how much time we got, but I'm going to get deeper. Not even on that. Now I'm about to take it to another level when I went through this. So I lost, at this time now, I lost everything. And, you know, now in hindsight, when I'm talking to you about it, I think I was even like drowning myself in alcohol, chain smoking cigarettes. I filmed the whole documentary. We were drunk the whole time.
Wow.
We traveled like 4 or 5 cities under the influence of alcohol and cigarettes, me and the party animals, right? But I think I was doing that because I knew that I was losing my club, my bread and butter. That was falling apart. I came out of a toxic situation and I never faced any of those demons. I was just going, right? So now when I'm back in the gym and I'm trying to revive, trying to get better, by that time, sub, I lost it all. I lost all my cars. I lost my vehicles. I lost all my like I had like a condo here and I had a house, you know, like little spots and lost that. All my jewelry. I had so much jewelry. Lost that. All the entourage, they started disappearing. All the friends, yo. So when this started happening, it was such a reality check, and it was so extreme how everything was happening. Like my health was, I almost crashed out with my health. But I caught it in time. It's God's work. I lose my business. I lose my vehicle. I lose my jewelry. I lost the crib. The entourage, you can't do nothing for them no more. Or you ain't the life of the party that covers the tab or be around the, only a chosen few to this day is still around, but everybody else faded. Granted, I have to take responsibility too. I probably wasn't the nicest person all the time. You remember, like you said, when we was younger, I was aggressive. So all it's gonna do is enhance that lifestyle. You feel me? I probably was, you know, a a-hole to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And not even realizing it because you're so used to being that person. But let me tell you how God takes you to a path to test you. Yo, sub. So we had like tornadoes hit. We had hurricanes hit out here, right? I'm still going to the gym. I got no whip. I got no bread. I got nothing. And this is coming from a guy that's pretty much had everything and some. But I've done, you know, I crashed and burnt, and it's almost like a reality check. Now I'm talking about it like this, it all fell apart. But let me tell you, bro, I started walking to the gym. I started walking to the gym, fam. 6 miles there, 6 miles back. Not to mention the work I was doing in the gym.
That's a lot.
But I said, I'm going to keep doing it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to keep doing it. For a whole summer, dog, for about 3 months and change, B, I was walking to the gym and walking back. I ain't talked to nobody. My phone was off. I didn't even want to turn it back on. I had to isolate myself from the world, dog. I had to rebuild me. I had to change. If I really wanted to change, God, yo, it's so funny, right? When I was walking back and forth to the gym, I remember during one of the tornadoes or hurricane, I saw this turtle and it was dead. Like on the path I was walking, it was dead, but it was dead and the shell was cracked and, it was splattered. For whatever happened, got splattered. And I looked at the turtle and I'm like, damn, it's a crushed turtle. Keep going. So I'm walking that path every day. And every day I pass that turtle, nobody cleaned it up yet. And every day I see the turtle just diminishing. It got to 2 weeks. The turtle is gone. So what I'm trying to say to you is everything perishes and goes back to the earth. You understand? We're all flesh and bone, dog.
Mm-hmm.
None of the cars, none of the jewelry, none of the fast women, none of the houses and all the money in the world. None of that goes with you, dog. And that's when I realized, not that's when, there's a lot of other things I realized, but that's one of the things I said, yo, man, I got to start getting right with God. I got to start really building a stronger relationship with him. And he put me through such a trial, dog. I was just, yo. And at first, your ego is your worst enemy. Because at first I'm like, man, I can't believe I'm walking to the gym. I caught myself saying that. And I was like, yo, chill. I'm walking, I can't. But let me tell you how God works again, because he's testing you. He said, how bad you want it? You want to change? You want to get better? You want to fulfill what you're trying to do? How bad you want it? Let me tell you how bad, how he tests you. I'm still walking. I'm still going through my transition, dog. And I remember one time it was pouring rain, right? And I'm walking my route back home from the gym, and a car purposely drives through the water, and a wave of water just went swoosh, just splashed me, fam. The old me, the old me, I would have found a rock or something and try to bust his window out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I did? I smiled and I said, God, I know you got a plan for me, because you put me through all this for a reason, B. You humbling me, dog. Like that ego of yours, Sean, it's gonna go away. How you gonna handle it? How you gonna handle it? You gonna react and throw the rock, or you just gonna shake it off? But it gets better. The story gets better, fam. I couldn't make this up on everything. I'm still going my route in this rain. I'm walking in the rain now, okay? At this point, I don't care, dog. I'm still trying to figure out. It's almost like I'm out of my inner self and I'm figuring out, I can't believe this is happening, but it's happening. But I'm like programmed to do this. You know what I'm saying? And a car pulls up, and it's this lady I see every morning in the gym. She goes every morning in the gym. And she winds down the window and she said, son, you need a ride home? I said, oh, no, ma'am, I'm good. I got it. I only got a couple more miles. I'm good. She said, no, I'm going to give you a ride. You work out at the gym, right? I was like, yeah. She's like, come on, I'll give you a ride. I said, no, ma'am. So I still was like, no. So she goes, please. It's pouring. Come on, son. Now, this lady, I've never spoke to her in my life. God bless that lady. I never spoke to her in my life. Okay? And, I'm 6 foot. I haven't lost all the weight yet, so I'm still husky. And I'm a black man, you know what I'm saying? Respectfully, you know? This lady didn't care about that. This lady wanted to help me. All right. So I said, God sends his angels, man. He sends his angels. When you think, you know what I'm saying? He sent, because I smiled at the splash. When the splash hit me, I smiled. It's how you respond to it. You feel me? It's how you respond to it. So this was going on, like I said, for a whole summer. And nobody noticed because, it's funny because, everybody thinks you still on top of the world.
I
Yeah.
hear you.
Devil can't stop this story, baby.
No, man.
God's
No, no.
always in control. It's too real. You heard?
Let's go. Let's go.
So when I'm going through that, I'm realizing he's testing me. He's really seeing if I want to change, bro. He really seeing if I'm serious. Cause he's like, he giving me so many opportunities, but I always took it for granted.
Mm.
And let me tell you, bro, I lost it all. But going through this transition, time goes by. It's 4 or 5 months in. I haven't drank. I haven't smoked. I haven't nothing. I'm getting strong. I'm getting healthier. Everything's getting clear. Excuse me. And I can tell you, I'm seeing everything different. I'm getting back in shape. I'm running. And I'm still like, I remember one of my peoples was like, now I'm slowly starting to communicate with certain people, because I cut a lot of people off. And I remember they said, yo, you ain't worried about people seeing you walking from the gym? You ain't worried about that? I said, man, I don't care who see me walking from. I don't care. I ain't living my life for them. I ain't worried about what they think of me. People gonna always have something to say about you, man. I gotta get me right. I started appreciating the little things, from turtles being disintegrated on the ground, to trees, to nature, to clearing my thoughts. Them walks would let me think about a lot of things, bro. It's like I had to go through that. You know what I mean? To really clear my head. And it's God was doing it to clear my head, to let me really get a clear understanding. This is what you want to do. This is what you're gonna have to go through. Because it's easy to go back and set up a club and get back to it and get busy. I was great at what I do in the club business. But my spirit and my heart knew this ain't what I want, man. I don't want to do this no more.
It's
I
amazing.
got to find another way.
So
And let me
from
tell you,
go ahead. Sorry.
when it got to that, when I got to that place in that space, I remember, I remember crying, dog. I remember when I'd walk, because I didn't know what to do. I'm crying, dog. I'm like, what do I do, man? Like, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was such and my life has always been an extreme. There's no gray. It's either black or white. You know what I'm saying? It's always fast, 100 miles of running. You know what I'm saying? So when you feel like in limbo, the only thing I knew that I was doing in the right in at that time, besides building a relationship with God, was going to the gym. I knew that was the positive. Besides getting closer to God, the positive was going to the gym. I just keep going. I just kept going. Everything else didn't matter. I didn't care about anything else. I wake up, I pray, I make sure my son is good, and I'm going to the gym. I'm going to the gym. It was just, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to the gym. And bro, let me tell you, I started running. I started getting better at it. I started 5 miles, 6 miles, 7 miles, 8 miles, 9, 10. So I'm at 10s, 11s. So I'm going all the way. I think the most I did on the treadmill was like 24 miles. But it was such a sense of release. It when I finished doing it, I always felt good about myself. And to be honest with you too, I was scared. I had to go. I was when I say scared, I knew I was building a relationship with God. I knew I was working out at the gym, but I was still at the point where I'm scared that I don't want to go back to that. I got to keep going to this. This is what I need to keep doing because I'm not going to go back to that lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? So it's almost like the fear of that had motivated me to keep doing the gym. You know what I'm saying? And finally, that's when God said, He said to me, He said, this is now like 7 months in, and it's so crazy because you could, can you hear me?
I hear you. Go ahead.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
it's
I
so
just put
it's
a
so
clip of you
it's
running
oh
so people can
it's
see
all
what it's
good.
really
Yeah,
about.
it's all good. It's so crazy because a lot of people start being eliminated out of your life, man, when either A, they can't accept that you're trying to change to be a better version of yourself, or B, they just don't understand it and don't want to be around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I seen that happen in front of me vividly. Like people I've known for a minute, like they just stopped rocking with me because I'm following a certain discipline now. I want to do things different. I want to change my lifestyle. I want to do more positive things. You understand what I'm saying, sub?
Yep.
And it's so funny because he knows the journey for you, and this is why it's opened me up to doing these fundraisers. And that idea came to when I felt extremely secure in my endurance and my health and my workout. I said to myself, I got to figure out a way how to give back. Like, I don't care about making the money and any of that. I want to figure out a way how to give back. What's an organization I could give back, raise money to help somebody else? It's almost like, so let me tell you, so it's almost like I was like, I was like, God, I want to be better and I want to do better. I'm doing better for myself. How can I help somebody else? And that's when I came up with the run to redemption, because we know what redemption is. Redemption is when you're trying to, make peace with yourself and get closer to God and live a life of righteousness. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I came up with the name Run to Redemption, because running is my thing, and I'm still working on redemption to be a better person and a better version of myself and be better, closer to God. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? I put the logistics together to get with the Wounded Warriors organization. I reached out. It was a shuffle, man. I had to really dig, but I found the right person, one of the head people at the headquarters, and I told them my spill, what I was doing. They loved the idea, and they put the link and helped me put everything together. And it's funny. I remember the lady said, "So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna run with a bunch of people and you're gonna raise money?" I was like, "No, I'm gonna run by myself." She's like, "Wow." I was like, "Yes, ma'am." And I want to raise money. And the first one I'm gonna do is 12 miles. She was like, "That's great." So I did it. Raised close to $500. Called her, and I was like, "I did it." She's like, "Wow." She was very, very, very impressed by it. But I told her, I said, my goal is to raise $10,000 for you guys. And she was like, that's when she knew, okay, this guy's serious. You know what I mean? So I ended up training again once I accomplished the 12. And to be honest with you, sub, I I could have kept going when I did that 12 because I was in great shape, but I was testing the waters, like, you know what I mean? I was really testing the waters. And so then 3 months later, remember now, this was December 1st, and then January, February, March 15th, 3 months later, I got back on that road and ran 30 miles for them. You know what I'm saying?
30 miles.
Yes, sir. 30 miles non-stop. Yes,
That's
sir.
incredible, man. That's incredible.
I'm so grateful, man. God's grace got me through that. And sub, it was one of those things where I felt so happy doing it, man. You do something, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like I was looking so forward to it. Like I'm so happy that I'm gonna be doing this. It's not only a me versus me thing. You're doing it to help somebody else. And it's like, yo, it's challenge, but at the same time, I was having fun doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, yo, can I tell you something? And I'm man enough to say it, is like, I've never accomplished anything like that in my life before. I've been a great businessman, at least for the most part. You know what I'm saying? When it came to the nightclub business. But the nightclub business is a different environment. It's different logistics. It's still a grind and a hustle. I take nothing away from that business. It's a hard business. But in this one, this was me working hard and not wanting any reward.
That's amazing, man.
You understand? You understand what I'm saying? When you're doing the nightclub stuff, there's always the angle. It's for the money. You know what I mean? It's for the vices. It's for that. But this was something where it felt good. And I can tell you this, man. You're talking to somebody that in my 20s, I touched the M. You know what I'm saying? In my late 20s, I lost it all. Then I bounced back up. And you get what I'm saying? Like, my life has been fluctuated. But this space of my life now, 46 years old, and I'm far from financially where I used to be. Far from it. But I'm not worried about that because God's going to bless me. I'm going to keep working hard. He's going to bless me, right? But this is the wealthiest I've ever felt.
Awesome, man.
The wealthiest. You understand?
So that's such a amazing story, and the fact is that you're at the beginning of your journey, right? I
Yes,
remember
sir.
you
Yes,
called
sir.
me about a year ago, and you were like, "Sub, we have to make a choice, man. We're in our 40s. We're either gonna look back and say that we've lived our best life, or we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna look forward and say our best life is yet to be lived. What are you gonna do? Because I'm
Absolutely.
about to live my best life." And I was just like, "Who is this Who is this guy? Where's this guy coming from?"
Completely different. Completely 180.
I can see the light in your face, in your eyes, as you're talking to us about what you're going through, what you're doing. Like you are shining, and
Thank you.
glory to God, brother. So
Yes.
talk to us
Without
about
him, there's nothing, man.
nothing. Talk to us about what's coming, because you've created a
Okay.
new challenge for yourself. And by the way, for anyone
Yes.
who's watching now or later, in the description of this video is the link to Sean's Run to Redemption Wounded Warriors 100 Miles Project, where you can make a donation to Sean's cause to raise $10,000 for the Wounded Warriors. So please, if you find
Yep.
it in your heart to give, to contribute to the mission and purpose that Sean has here, and make sure you follow Sean on Instagram. You're gonna find him at, what's your IG, Sean?
It's Sean, SEANROWE_SR. That's SEANROWE_SR. You have all that. You see me training and going through the process of getting ready for this 100 miles. You want me to talk about it or what? You want me to
Yeah,
give a
so
little
yeah, go ahead
insight
and,
about
and,
it?
and tell us about it. I'm gonna
Okay, so
feature the IG page while you do that.
so basically now the challenge is I'm gonna train for the next 6 months, and I'm gonna train to do 100 miles nonstop. And I'm basically in. I officially start the training camp in a couple days, where I'm getting aggressively. It's when I finish the 30, I took 3 days off and I got right back in the gym to do some light training just to keep the consistency. You know what I'm saying? But the GI Joe format of the whole GI Joe workout and training program that I put together, this one's pretty accurate. It starts in a couple days, and basically, I'm gonna be doing it nonstop. Anybody interested in being a proud sponsor, contact me in the DM. And Sub, I don't know if you've seen it. I got a new sweater out now, basically uh, promoting the brand and basically just showing people that's going to be the sweat I'm going to be wearing a lot. And I got that also as well for sale to help pay for the expenses for the run. People don't understand, I have a police escort, you got to get permits, insurance, all kinds of stuff, logistics to make that happen. And I've been doing this myself with some proud sponsors locally in the last 2 events. Thank you to them. But this one, like I said, this one is going to be bigger and better and more time. It's going to take 21 hours. That's the time that me and the team put together to complete this. And we're excited, man. Just I'm about to start that training camp to get this going and do this 100 miles and put it in the books and raise as much money as I possibly can. My perfect world with my big personality and overly ambitious self, I always say I want to make $10,000 for them. You know what I mean? I want to be that guy. So, but first and foremost, I'm going to be training hard, real hard for the next 6 months to do this 100 miles. And like I said, nothing is impossible. Everything is possible once you have faith, believe in God, and work hard. And that's a fact, Jack. That's me speaking it because I'm living proof. You know what I mean?
Amen. Amen, bro. God bless you, man.
Yes, sir. God
That's
bless
it,
you too,
bro.
my brother.
Anything
So
else
good
you want to
seeing you,
say
man.
to the people that are listening? Just from your
I want to
heart.
say I do, Sub, and I'm gonna make it short and sweet. You, to anybody listening, build your own relationship with God, and when you build it, always have faith in Him, because I've learned even down to the wire when you're getting a little nervous, He knows your intentions are good and your heart's pure. He's gonna always find a way to bless you, man. Miracles do happen, and most importantly, do you. Don't worry about what nobody else thinks. They're always going to be haters. They're always going to be negativity, but always focus on the positivity. Always look at the positive perspective on things. Always try to live your life as positive as possible. And I always say this, tell anybody that you love every day that you love them, because life is precious.
Awesome, brother. Well, I love you, bro.
Love you, man. We talk soon, and thank you so much, man. And we'll definitely stay connected, yeah?
For sure, for sure. Hang tight for a minute.
The
Hang tight.
approved guy is in the house.
Well,
All right.
guys, I
Take
hope
care.
you enjoyed this video. I hope you gain a lot of value from Sean's story, and I hope it motivates you like it motivated me to get back in the gym, to get healthy. Make sure you follow Sean on Instagram at SEAN ROWE _senior SR. That's his Instagram. Follow him. You can be, if you're a business owner, or if you just want to sponsor the project and what's coming up for his 100-mile run, or if you want to donate, you can do that. In the description below is the link, as well as Sean's IG will be there as well. So thank you for watching. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel, and let somebody know who will let somebody know about the value of this content. Take care. God bless. See you soon.